We're going to take a look at a report from Headset on 15 different markets across North America, including data on total sales, year-over-year sales growth, the average basket size, how many SKUs are available, and then month-over-month changes in sales. So all of that coming up.
It's only entertainment.
Welcome back to the Talking Hedge. I'm Josh Kincaid, capital markets analyst and host of your Cannabis Business Podcast. Quick overview of what we're about to get into, seeing edible sales emerging in the U.S. markets. So there's other emerging markets in the U.S. like Michigan, which had the highest total edible sales in August at 26 million, followed by Illinois at almost 20, then Massachusetts. Maryland was at the low end of the scale with less than 5 million edible sales last month. In August, $46 million worth of edible sales in California, which led other U.S. legacy markets by a significant margin. Falling in a distant second is Colorado at 18 million. And then Oregon, it was third at 11.4 million. Looking at total sales, California coming in at 400 million in October, 414 million in September. Looks like Michigan was second at 205 million and Ontario at 158 million. Illinois, 155. Some of the legacy markets like Washington, Oregon, fairly steady, 105 million, 80 million. Even some of the emerging markets, Massachusetts and Maryland, fairly steady. I think if we weren't in current economic times, if things were back to normal, we wouldn't see some declines, which we'll get to right now. Year-over-year sales growth continues to be negative. We're seeing impacts from the economy all the way to the lack of stimulus checks, the Great Resignation, just everything that has to do with the economy over the last 3 years since the beginning of pandemic, even before that, is impacting cannabis sales. So we are seeing people cutting back because of impacts from inflation, as well as not as many people maybe being in the industry. Maybe we're not seeing as many people smoking during COVID. But regardless, if you were to take away the last couple of years, I think we've showed a video about this, the numbers would still be steady, but I think it's really kind of pulled some people out. I haven't done the analysis on this, but I think the growth rates would have been higher if things hadn't changed during COVID. But it is unusual that even emerging markets would be low. If you look at year-over-year sales growth in a normal market in 2020, you could see California at 60% in 2020, 50% for Oregon, 20% for Nevada. Then COVID hit, you could still see 30% for California, 341% for Illinois. That was short-lived, but 100% for BC, 20% for Washington. So just give you some context. Now you look at year-over-year sales growth, and it's negative in Canada, parts of Canada, 50% in Massachusetts, still 101% in Arizona. Washington is all being reduced by about 10, 12%. And you can see that reflected in how much people are spending as well. The average price in California has dropped significantly. It used to be above $65 and really hasn't been all year. 65 was, or used to be the minimum delivery price, and now it's 56. So a lot more people are going in and spending a lot less, driving that price down more than it has been in the past. Washington is still pretty steady, $31, 38 for Oregon. We have a lot of stores. So, I've just been to Colorado, Chicago. I was in New York. They've got a couple of medical spots. San Francisco. There's just not as many as there are in Washington and Oregon. There's a lot of them. And so it's easier to spend less and go more frequently. You don't have as many lines because there aren't as many stores, and it isn't as congested. But all in all, I think eventually that'll be probably the way that is normalized. You'll have easier access, and therefore you'll be spending less on average, and not the $90, $100 in Maryland, or $75, $100 or $80 in Illinois. it'll be more normalized. All right, let's take a look at how many SKUs there are to choose from. I find it interesting. Washington has about 1,800 products to choose from compared to California, 770, or on the low end, British Columbia, 320. It's significantly more than anyone else. There's really nobody even close. Michigan, 434. Illinois has about half, 946. Arizona, 1,021. But it's daunting. You go in, you have almost 2,000 SKUs to choose from. There's a lot of product out there. On the flip side, you go to a place like Chicago and there's 5 different products to choose from, and you have to do it on an iPad instead of having all of these products in front of you, like in Washington State. It's very different. There's a happy medium there. One is not enough, and the other is overwhelming. Looking at month over month, like same store sales growth, it's pretty negative all across the board. So we didn't see this except early on in Nevada with some of the lockdowns. And now it's been fairly evident in every market where there just was a peak. There's peak buying, and now people are having to reassess what they're doing and not buying as much. Gas prices are insane. All these other reasons why people are pulling back, they're definitely pulling back. So it's not really a matter of excessive spending from stimulus checks or additional people jumping in because of stay at home and then them leaving because it's springtime and they're working from the office now. I don't believe it was a matter of excess people coming in. I think it's really been a squeeze on everyone's budget and just overall natural consolidation, capitulation in the industry. So there's less available brands. As some people kind of get out of the game, but then also people aren't spending as much that we've just seen in the last few graphs. So it's a combination of a lot of things, but month over month, like same store, growth is decreasing all across the board. Canada isn't immune to it, neither are emerging markets. So Alberta, Ontario, Saskatchewan, all negative. Illinois, Massachusetts, Maryland, Michigan, Ontario, all negative. So again, the only person who wasn't negative, ironically enough, was Nevada. Nevada was up 1.1%, and literally everybody else, including Florida, is down for stores. Not a huge surprise. Kind of the worst the economy has been in at least probably 10, 15 years. So we'll see if things start to improve. Might have to come back to the Talking Hedge and find out.
With that, we're going to roll this one up. I'm Josh Kincaid. This is the Talking Hedge. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, or don't, and I'm out.
Don't forget to smash that like button on your way out and check out these other videos that we've got.